Today is August 28th, 2025. This is HOA Today. HOA Today is brought to you by, one moment, Zayuk. Zayuk is a smart property system. We provide tools and inspections for HOAs and condos and for decentralized property ownership models. Additionally, we actually introduced a platform for REITs, and as we go and expand our network through REITs, which are a different form of property ownership, but in the same context, we're solving a lot of the problems around property ownership through modern systems, modern technology systems. So it's not easy to manage these properties across multiple municipalities, and when it's decentralized, it can add a lot of complexity. So that's exciting. Today is HOA Today, though, this live stream. So we will be focusing on various current events in HOAs. This is from TDC Cool Down. Georgia homeowner considering legal action against the HOA after coming home to find fence, bushes, and trees removed. Received an email from the president saying some slats in their fence needed to be fixed. Reports discovering removal of the fence. The HOA has a or the president, quote unquote, has a reputation for extravagant demands. They said crazy demands. Intentions to call the police. This homeowner wants it to be returned to the original state. And this goes to one of the reality capture inspections that we have, and it's helpful for everyone in your community because people are very particular about their homes right outside their home. So this person had fencing and various other issues, or let's go back, bushes and things of that nature. So with a 3D model, with the reality capture, you can have that reference and have that reference in your software application you use every day. And that's a huge plus because it gives your property and your residents, and when you're an owner in that property, it gives people who aren't on the board and don't necessarily have too much authority. They're a general member of the association, more insight and reference to what they're speaking about. So we spoke about Minnesota homeowners in an HOA taking out some sort of legal action against the HOA and the manager for roofing assessments. Again, if you had a reality capture inspection, you could provide them that proof and you wouldn't get into that situation, that sticky situation. So having that proof, having that information stored at the property is critically important. So, and this I believe was posted on Reddit, and as we've spoken about, Reddit has a lot of people who complain about their HOA on there. And the reason it's so important is because for many people, it's the primary store of their wealth. And so when you have a large portion of your wealth stored in a single asset, it becomes something gravely important. And it can deteriorate quickly. And I would say that the chance of deterioration for these types of property ownership models are pretty high. And that's why you see so much change occurring in various states as far as legislation goes, like Minnesota and Florida and California. This is from the TCD2. One owner at odds over the installation of an EV charger. This was posted in the subreddit REV charging. That owner consulted electricians ready to pay out of pocket, but the property manager claimed the charger would cause the building's insurance company to drop coverage, which is very possible. And then a community charge point would be a non-starter. That's very difficult. It's very expensive to do an EV charging station, and not just that, who would own it? How would you rent it? I mean, you would hope that you could rent out. I don't know how much. If one costs $30,000, it doesn't seem that feasible, really. Maybe one person could park there every day. I don't know how many. I don't really know too long how the 300 miles. I don't really drive it in EV, so I don't know much about the charging and how many days it could last on a single charge. Okay, we'll continue. This is another EV revolution in HOA regulation. An article in A Invest by Edwin Foster. Reshaping transportation and residential real estate. HOA becoming critical battlegrounds for legal and financial risk. And this article is stating retrofitting costs and insurance risk pose challenges while the infrastructure does gain value. Investors should prioritize EV ready markets with clear regulations and leverage federal grants. It's very difficult because the cost is put on everyone, the risk is put on everyone, and the benefit is not when only a select few have electric vehicles. This is an article by Twisted Sifter about an HOA with their Christmas lights. This is a very poorly written article. I'm sorry, I won't be able to read this. All right, we'll move on. This is from MoneyWise. Florida lawmaker weighs abolishing HOAs across state as residents fed up with sky-high fees and legal woes. One state representative in Florida, South Florida, states considering filing legislation to abolish HOA statewide. Stating on a television network, are they really necessary? Many Florida residents have found themselves frustrated in the last 4 years stating it was a failed experiment. Enforces rules in a community, consists of townhomes or condos, and you must agree to abide by those rules and pay a fee usually. 40% of Florida residents live in a community or HOA, and it has a population of 23 million, so 9 million living in communities. Rising fees, 500, 600 plus a month, and you don't see a lot of that going back to your community. And that's why Zayuk Safe is great, because when you have those types of numbers, people want to know what it's going to, and sometimes it's not that easy to organize, or you just want those numbers. So we have our budgeting portion, but I think even more so than that, what brings us makes us valuable is our inspection service, our reality, our digital twin structure, the way we organize reserve studies, and we include budgeting and meetings, and it's all integrated into one system, which makes it powerful. Okay, so we'll continue. So we'll continue into another article on TCD. Homeowner baffled by HOA's response to dangerous issue in front of home. For most homeowners, keeping the driveway clear of low-hanging branches is a matter of grabbing pruning shears. But for one, it is a bylaw violation punishable by fines. Posted on Reddit, sharing a photo of a tree in question with low-hanging branches. No action had been taken. Under HOA bylaws, however, residents are not allowed to trim common areas themselves. Some commenters stating these rules could backfire. There were comments on liability. I am not a lawyer, and none of this is legal advice. And one commenter stated that they might want to check with a lawyer to check if what they have available to them. It's a very difficult situation, and if homeowners can't do it, which is understandable, it's a very dangerous thing. Again, I'm not there's reasons, but even if this is a low-hanging branch, it's good to communicate with the property. And this is saying how HOAs can be a barrier to homeowners. It's because the tools aren't available to distribute the information easily. And that's what people need and want, and what Zayuk Safe brings. So this is Aspen Daily News. APC HOAs face $8.7 million in repair needs. Study of 27 homeowners associations' capital reserves and needed repairs in Aspen found they face a collective $8.7 million in capital projects. Study conducted in 2024 was the first since 2011 had conducted to understand capital needs and capacities at HOAs with majority of deed restricting housing. Of the 50 HOAs eligible, 27 participated. Examined capital reserves and anticipated maintenance, and the study was done to determine long-term maintenance strategies that may be needed. And they found that deferred maintenance is common and preventative maintenance is lacking across the complexes. APCHA did not disclose which HOAs participated, but told the board last week that some larger HOAs did not participate. Those larger HOAs being Burlingame Ranch, Hunter Creek condominiums, and Midland Park condominiums. Some of those that look like they have little or no reserves just completed large repairs that depleted their reserves. 600 repairs needed across 387 units. 387 units across 27 associations. Those are not too large. That's just maybe 18 units each, something, 18, 17. Make up big ticket items make up 68% of recommended capital expenses. Those big ticket items could be foundation, roofing, balconies for California. I mean, it could be anything. Insurance, really a lawsuit. There are many things. Electrical repairs, plumbing and fire protection. Mechanical repairs, fixing sidewalks, site and drainage. Drainage can be huge. $1.28 million. Mechanical repairs, including boilers, made up $853.5 thousand. If the HOAs were to complete all recommended repairs in the next 10 years, 13 of them projected they would have enough money to complete them, and the 14 others anticipated negative in the next 10 years. One built in 1994 would have $1.2 million. Projected it would have $1.2 million in reserve balance in 10 years, yet only has 150,000 and collects $5,800 per month and is facing $355,000 in a 10-year capital expenditures. Root causes of deferred maintenance were building age, cost of repairs, and other affordability concerns, and lack of knowledge or resources among the HOAs. So if you own in a community in Aspen, consider reaching out to us, the city of Aspen. If you're in the city of Aspen, consider reaching out to our company Zayuk and speaking to us with your communities about us taking reality captures, going above these properties, taking photographs, doing these sorts of inspections that they already should be doing, the reserves inspections, and giving them platforms that even you as a local municipality can understand and have availability to communicate with them. We provide the governance in a data driven way so that it's available and organized according to the document, according to the policy, according to articles. And with the reality capture inspection, you can actually go there, check it out, and you'll be giving them a huge platform to be able to more effectively handle their vendors and giving their vendors more tools to understand the context of the properties they may be working on, which can come through the request for proposals, can come through many various other dynamics. So we'll continue. Each HOA is really unique in their own situation. Small portion of the whole universe. Yes, even one person here said it was only 387 units. Okay, so we're going to end it for now. And in case you didn't hear, Zayuk is now, so we provide property technology for HOAs and condos, and we are focusing on property ownership, giving tools to property owners to better understand the context to which they own. For these types of entities, HOAs and condos, a lot of that revolves around rules, finances, and asset hygiene. And many homeowners want to understand and feel like they're more of a part of their property, but find it difficult to allocate the time, which is understandable. So Zayu gives you a platform to better understand your property through our reality capture inspection, through our governance items, through our RFP for your vendors, our request for proposal system, and so on. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and take care.